Hi, I'm Chad with Move for a Guitar. This lesson is from our series Chords for Beginners. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to play an open C major 7 chord. So here's an open C major 7 chord. In the fingering for this chord, there's two options. The first option is what I'm holding right here. That would be your third finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and then your second finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And that's all you would hold, that's all you would fret, and then all the strings down towards the floor underneath it, so the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string are open, which means you're not fretting them, but you just let them ring out, and you block the 6th string so that it doesn't ring out. And the way you block this 6th string is you let your tip of your 3rd finger lightly touch underneath it just to keep it from ringing out. So you can see how mine's just lightly touching that string. I'm not pushing it down or anything. I'm not bending it up. I'm just lightly underneath to keep that string from ringing out. And you want to leave that string out just because this chord gets muddy if it's left in. If you leave it in, it sounds... So you want to block it out and keep that muddiness out of there. And you definitely need to be on the tips of your fingers for these chords, especially with your second finger. It needs to be pretty far up and have this nice arch here in the knuckle, not bent down like that at all, and up on the tip of the finger so that you're not touching any of the open strings underneath and blocking those out. With your third finger, it's going to be a little flatter just so you can mute out this 6th string. So if lay it down a little bit flatter, not so much on the tip like that, just down like this so you can lightly come underneath and touch that 6th string and keep it from ringing out. So that's the first option for fingering. The second option is it's the exact same notes that you fret. It's just you're going to switch your 2nd and 3rd finger with your 1st and 2nd finger, just like this. So this time it would be your 2nd finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and your 1st finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And then everything else would be the same. And then you would block the 6th string with your 2nd finger. Exact same way that you did with your 3rd finger, just lightly touching underneath to keep that string from ringing out. And make sure that your thumb is straight up and down, not bent sideways like that. Your wrist is probably not going to be like this unless your hands are really small. It's just hard to say without actually seeing your hand. Typically you want some sort of nice bend in the wrist here and keep your palm away from the neck as much as possible. And it can touch right here with this part of your hand to the neck, but just make sure that you don't block out your 1st string when you do that. If you are touching that 1st string, it's going to be blocked out. You want to make sure that you're not touching that 1st string at all with your hand. And make sure that your fingers that are fretting are close to the front fret wires, as close as possible to the front fret wire in the frets that you're in. So if you're holding with your 2nd and 3rd finger, your 3rd finger would be close to this front fret wire, and your 2nd finger would be close to this front fret wire. Because any note that you fret on guitar, you want to be close to the front fret wire in whatever fret you're in. So if I'm in the 3rd fret right here, this is the front fret wire. I want to fret as close to that fret wire as possible without being on top of it. And the reason you want to do that is because you don't have to put nearly as much pressure down when you're fretting the note. If you're back in the fret like this, you're going to start getting buzzing, and you're going to have to put a lot more pressure to get that note to ring out. So it's better to be up in the fret towards the front fret wire, and it'll be a lot easier to push the note down. And that's not possible with every single chord. Some fingers can't get very close, but with this chord, these 2 fingers can. So when you think you have the chord, just strum through all the strings. And since you're blocking the 6th string, it doesn't matter if you hit the 6th string, so you can strum through that as well. If you hear anything like, you need to adjust your fingers, go through, check each string, and see which string's not ringing out clearly. And just keep adjusting your fingers until you can get every note to ring out clearly. So that's an open C major 7 chord. If you'd like to get the diagram for this chord, you can click the link on the screen and it'll take you to an eGuide that you can download for free. And in this eGuide, it has this chord, but it also has a whole bunch of other beginner chords that'll be really useful for you to learn. It just gives you a bunch of options for different chords and different versions of chords, and it'll really expand your knowledge and give you tons of options for playing chords and songs. And along with the chords, I give you a bunch of options for chord progressions. So I take the chords that are in the eGuide, put them together into sequences, and create chord progressions out of them so that you can actually hear them in a more musical situation, and you can learn the chord progressions to see what chords sound good together, and also get ideas for different chord progressions that you can create on your own. That way you won't just learn a whole bunch of random chords and then have no idea how to use them. This will show you musical situations that they can be used in and really expand your knowledge and help you as a beginner. So if you'd like to get that eGuide, just click the link on the screen and you can download that for free.